So I don't know if any of you have noticed this, but cameras are getting better and better every single year. And not only are they getting better, they're also getting smaller. The first camera that I ever properly invested in was my A6400, and this thing is pretty small. It basically fits in my pocket. Now this camera was the first camera that I used to start my freelancing business. And as you can see, it's not the biggest camera in the world. And sometimes when I'd turn up for work, I'd get a dirty look off the client or a comment saying, "Oh, is that the thing you're shooting with? Oh, are you going to be shooting the video on that thing? That's a bit of a small camera. You sure we'll be able to, do the job?" Now I get it, yeah, the camera is not actually very big, but this is a really, really good camera. It does 4K, it does 120 frames a second in 1080p. It also shoots in log, which is really nice. And yeah, it's a really nice camera. But clients and other people who don't know a lot about cameras, they don't see that. They just see the small camera and they assume, well, it's going to be a bad quality video that he's going to be producing. Now obviously the size of your gear does not matter, it's the quality of your work and your actual skill set. But it is just a harsh fact that people who don't know a lot about cameras will judge you based on the size of your camera or equipment. Now when I'm out shooting on location, sometimes I've been like literally walking around with the Blackmagic camera rig and people have literally come up to me and asking like, "Oh, how much do you charge? Oh, what kind of video work do you do?" And I've literally been hired sometimes literally just because I've been walking down the street holding a big camera. Now I doubt they'd have the same reaction if I was carrying this little thing around. So over the past year I've actually been investing in little accessories that can help your camera look a little bit better, purely just because of the fact that people will judge you based on the size of your gear. And yes, I understand it is literally your skill set that matters, not your gear, but unfortunately clients don't think like that. Clients in the general public just mainly think small camera, bad camera, big camera, good camera. And it's just a sad fact that the size of your camera could literally impact the whole vibe and mood of the shoot, and whether or not you're going to get hired again or approached in the street to be hired or something like that. Now bearing in mind some of the things that I'm going to be listing are very, very useful, but I'm mainly making this video just so people can not get judged so easily just by the size of their camera. So without further ado, let's get into the first item, which is a battery grip. And these things are just great. They have so many different uses as well as a big aesthetic change to your camera. As you can see here, battery grips make your camera look so much more aesthetically pleasing. Not only that, but they can also give you better battery life, and also on some of them you have the option to do vertical shooting. Once I pair this with a lens, you can now see that that is looking way more like a pro body camera. And you can get these things fairly cheap for pretty much any single camera out there. All you need to do is literally just type in your camera make or model and type in battery grip after that, and literally you'll find the battery grip for your camera. Now normally for lower end type cameras, they can go from anywhere between $20 and $70 or pounds. If you have a very expensive camera, they can be upwards of 100. But yeah, it's pretty much a good accessory that can make any camera look a little bit better. Right, okay, next up we've got camera cages. Now there are loads of different variants of these. For example, I've got 3 different types of camera cages. The first example is actually on my A6400. I don't know if you noticed it, but there's actually a tiny little camera cage just on the top. And basically what it does is it gives me 2 extra little hot shoes for me to mount stuff on. So if I wanted to add like a monitor here, a microphone here, and maybe like a video light here, I can. Next up is my M50's camera cage, which is a little bit bigger. It has a few mounting points and it also has a hand grip on the side. And the last cage I own is the one for the Blackmagic, which the only way I can show you is via this mirror because it's currently filming right now. So if you just take a little look at that, yeah, there's basically a massive cage that surrounds the camera. They also allow you to add accessories to it like handles and monitors and lights and microphones to make your camera look even better. And not only does it do all that useful stuff, it also makes the camera look a little bit nicer too. And it kind of also gives it a little bit of protection as well. Like if you were to drop the camera, the cage might absorb some of the impact. But yeah, cages are great. There's pretty much a cage for any single camera on the market. Again, if you need a camera cage, just look on the internet and type in your camera make and model, and then literally just type in the word cage after that, and I guarantee you there'll be a cage for your camera. Now cages are a little bit different depending on your camera size and what cage you want. They can literally cost anything between like $15 or pounds all the way up to like 100. So then it just comes down to personal preference and what you want to make your camera look like. Right, so the next thing is really simple. Like it is really, really simple. I bet a lot of you have already done this, but just adding a lens hood to your camera, it just makes it look better. It just does. For example, here's my 50-100 and it already looks pretty big, but the lens hood is massive. It just, look at that now, that's huge. Like look at this thing, it's absolutely massive. If I was to like stick this onto there, just look at that camera. So yeah, I know it's really simple, but it is just, one of those things that can make it look a little extra bit better. But moving on from that, if you do photography, why not add a flash? This was pretty cheap, it was about £20, and sometimes I just add it to my camera even if I don't intend on using it. Obviously if you need it, it's there, but once I add that to my camera, This thing was about that big a moment ago, and just now look at it. I mean, if you want to use the flash, it's there, but like, you know, it's also just a nice little aesthetic purpose. Like, it looks like you came prepared. This now looks like a pro camera. If a really big company came up to me and went, Dan, we want you to shoot some of our products, and I turned up with this thing, they probably wouldn't bat an eyelid. If I were to turn up with this thing, you know, I might get, you know, a few dirty looks, and, you know, someone might ask the question, are you sure you're going to be able to film on that thing? It's the same camera. This big camera, it's the same. It's the same camera. The key light's just gone out. I needed to fix that. Right. Sorry, nothing has changed other than the size of the camera. But some more useful things that you could add to your camera are an external monitor if your camera doesn't have like an adjustable screen, or if you just want to monitor your screen better. That also adds a nice aesthetic element to the camera as well. You could also add handles as well. They also help with like the stability of your filming. And again, they also make your camera rig look nicer. Maybe you want to add like an external video light to the camera, you know, that also helps with filming as well. This one for my, oh shit. Oh dear. It's okay, I didn't break it. I'm not doing that again though. So all these things that I've mentioned will obviously help you improve your skill set as a photographer or videographer, but also they'll just bulk up your camera as well, so you don't get those dirty looks on set or whether you're out filming in the public or whatever. Oh, that's gone. That is gone. Video light has gone again. I need to fix that. Now I know these items are a little bit basic, but they're kind of aimed towards smaller filmmakers who are just getting into the industry. You know, people who have smaller cameras, smaller builds, and don't have the biggest budget in the world to spend on massive cameras, because I think we've all been in that situation at some point. And the reason why I made this video is because, you know, I myself would have appreciated a video like this, you know, when I was starting freelancing. So yeah, I hope this, you know, helped a few of you out. You know, if it did, maybe give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And you know, if there's any other things that you have on your rig which you know could share with everyone else, pop it down in the comments, because I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate it. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date with the content I'm producing, you know, hit that subscribe button and you can watch some more videos in the future maybe. But overall, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. This is such a wide lens, like how far can I go off a frame before it can not see me? How is this still seeing me? Hang on, let me just, right, okay, I don't even know how that's still seeing my hand. I'm literally at like the other end of the wall. So wide! Oh, the microphone's fell. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now.